I am done with Forspoken. Not done with the game. I'm not, God no, I'm not finishing that game, but I'm just done with it, period. And I don't think that I'm alone in that decision. I think a lot of people were quite upset and disappointed with how it turned out. Forspoken was announced sometime in early 2021, but as some of you may know, I didn't get my PS5 until very recently. I got it in December. When I got my PS5, I got Ghostwire Tokyo. That was the game that I wanted so badly. That is the reason that I got a PS5, because I wanted to play Ghostwire Tokyo so bad. It had caught my attention so long ago. And despite like some of the mixed reviews, I actually love that game. That's probably one of my favorite games that I've played just recently. I know the game came out a while ago, but I just played it and I loved it. I'll give it its own separate, video in itself. I happened to finish that game like 100% around the time that Forspoken, the demo came out, and some of the trailers, the gameplay trailers were coming out too. And in my eyes, that game had the potential to be a more open and refined version of Ghostwire Tokyo, and I was all in for that because I thought, I already loved the game and it was gonna be even better than that, and I was like, yes, let's do that. Unfortunately, I was just wrong, just very wrong about it. The trailers and the demo releasing, just a lot of concerns came up about that just from those videos and the trailers that were coming out, and I was like, how are they gonna make this world? The main selling point was that the world was so open and beautiful, and it's a beautiful world, but I was like, how are they gonna make this interesting to play in? And that ends up being a problem that I will touch on later. But the trailer also showcased some very questionable dialogue choices that the character makes. That's also another point I'm gonna touch on. And that's a very common thing that people have to say about it, is the quirky dialogue and the corny shit that she's saying. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that too. Forspoken is a game that while I was recording the videos, I was literally like on the verge of dozing off. This is the game that literally made me put down my controller and start doing homework. Like, I'm being so serious. Like, I would literally put the game down and go do something. Like, I would study rather than playing this game. That's bad. That's really bad. And I've seen other people talk about it. I've read the reviews, I've read the articles. I'm just gonna talk about it in my own personal opinion because I want to, and I can't keep recording these gameplay videos because my computer, I'm literally recording it on a computer that I can't even close because it's old and cracked and I cannot close it or my computer will explode. So I'm gonna explain why I think this is the most disappointing release of 2023 so far. Sit back, put this in the background. You don't have to listen to what I'm saying. I'm just gonna talk just for the sake of talking. So sit back and watch. So if you don't know, Forspoken follows Frey Holland, a quirky 20-year-old orphan living in New York. The story starts with a court hearing charging her with a felony theft, and she ends up receiving the grace of the judge and just gets community service, which is not bad considering it was theft. After she leaves the court, after she leaves the court service, what the frick is it called? After she leaves the court hearing, she runs into some thugs, the local gang, and apparently she has something that they want. And just to start, the thugs are so corny, but I can talk about that later too, but it was really bad. She ends up getting away, and she then sneaks into her apartment, which she's squatting in, and she meets her cat. I meet her cat. It's her cat, so we meet her, and I love that's the cat's my favorite character in the entire game. So then we find out that she also has been collecting money so she can run away and start a new life, which is good because she needs to, because that court hearing was her last chance. If she messes something else up, she's going to jail. Like, she's really getting locked up. So she has the money stashed away. She has a big sum of money, and she goes to sleep, ready to start her new life tomorrow and run away. And then she wakes up and the apartment has been engulfed in flames. She gets up, she leaves the money in the room that's burning. We'll talk about that later too. The money's burning in the room. She's like, no, I'm gonna find my cat, which I understand. I would find my cat too, but she gets the cat, she leaves, no money, everything's gone. She loses everything except her cat. And when everything seems lost, she finds this mystical bracelet that transports her to a different dimension, in which she finds these new characters that she has to interact with and save from the break, which is destroying their world, and fight anyone who comes in her way. That's all I'm saying. This is not a summary video, this is a rant, so that's the basic gist of it. That's all you need to know for this video. Let's get into my first major issue with this game. To start, I literally got the demo, I played for 10 minutes, and I got just annoyed with the controls. It just felt so clunky and weird and awkward. So then I spent 10 more minutes remapping the controls to my controller, and then I just deleted the demo. I didn't want to play it anymore. I was just like, I got bored with the fighting, and it wasn't that interesting. There was no story involved, which is fine. It was cool to see, their idea for it, and I was a little more excited about the game. I wasn't really, but I was like, maybe when the game comes out, it'll be more polished, more refined, more fun. It wasn't. I realized that sounds dramatic, and it is. I don't care. I mean, I didn't like it, and I deleted it, so. Once I did get the full game, I you know, stuck with what the developers intended, and I didn't remap the controls again. And I hated it. It was bad. Not only were the controls just awkward, you have to use both triggers, both bumps to do different attacks, which is, I mean, it's normal, I guess, but there's no aiming feature. You just kind of shoot blindly into the night. And it's even worse because everything seems so slow and just like if you hit the right or left trigger to dodge and move around, it doesn't register until it like completely flicks back. So it's like half, maybe a quarter of a second, which is a lot of time. So I thought I just sucked at the game, but I was like, there's no way I'm this bad at the game. I'm playing on like the normal difficult, like not even like the super hard difficulty, just normal. And I was getting destroyed. Like I was getting E's. The game would rank you based on all of your fights, and I was getting like E's and D's. I got an A once and a star. I think I recorded, I don't know if I did upload that video because I could not edit anymore. Everything just seems so slow and just not registering right. And then sometimes even when it would register, the frames would drop to 0 and I was literally frozen, just like waiting for it to catch back up to itself. It was hard to play because you weren't moving the way that you were telling her to move. She wasn't moving with that. And I know I talked about it in a bunch of the videos. I was like, why is it not working? Why is it so slow? Why am I so bad? Like I kept saying that. And from my understanding, the game also like forces, or it recommends, and it punishes you for using the same attack over and over again. But when the game starts, you only have 3 attacks. It's the burst shot, which is like a shotgun. You have the scatter shot, which is like a machine gun, and the shield shot, which is a shield and it blows up in their face. I hated the shield shot because it didn't work the way I wanted it to. At least for me, it didn't even work as a shield. So I would have the shield shot up and I would load it like ready to hit another enemy that was approaching me, and they would just hit me and it wouldn't even deter the attack at all. And it was only a very short range attack, which in some cases I did use it and I did like it, but I really just used the scatter shot. I would spam the scatter shot. I mean, the main ability to me is just kind of boring. I mean, she's shooting rocks. I mean, yeah, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Once you do unlock the other abilities, it does get a little more interesting to fight. The fighting is kind of, once you get used to the delay, the fighting's quite fluid. It's nice, it's satisfying to watch, but you know, it's not satisfying to play because you in the back of your head are like, that's not what I want to happen. I do love the traversal when you just traverse using your little magic parkour. It's fun. I love it. I love going through the land, going through the world, doing flips and tricks. And the combat to me did seem just very drawn out, very boring, very repetitive. The boss fights were the same over and over, just spam. But once you do start unlocking abilities, it's fun, but like, I feel like it shouldn't be that bad. In Ghostwire Tokyo, you also have 3 main abilities. I'm going to keep referencing this because in my mind, this was going to be a Ghostwire Tokyo different version. Maybe that's my fault. Maybe it was a biased opinion coming into it because I love the game. But you have wind, fire, and water. And those are your 3 abilities. But in my mind, it was just more immersive in itself. It was more interesting to see the character produce these abilities, these powers. And I don't know, it just feels not immersive because you have to switch through your attacks because the game is like, if you use the same attack, we're giving you an E, we're giving you a D. You're not getting an A or B. You're not getting your little supplies. You don't even really get much from it. You get some XP, this and that. But you have to flip through your, cycle through your 3 abilities, which, so there's so many of them. You cycle through and you're like, well, do I want to use the shield shot? No, I don't want to use it. I was just using the scatter shot. I guess I'll use the burst shot, but it's like the immersion is kind of broken to me, at least, because you have to cycle through it. In the back of your mind, you're like, well, I can't keep using the same ability, but you also have to look for the ability you want, or not necessarily look for it, but you have to think strategically, because you can't use the shield shot against a lot of the boss fights because they're so far away. And in my mind, the enemies in Ghostwire Tokyo were a lot more different. They had like life, they had personality. In this game, they're all like zombified dogs, birds, chickens, beavers, like they're all the same to me. I know there's different types, but they are all the same to me. The next thing I want to talk about is the dialogue in the story. I'm sorry to use this word, but the dialogue was so ass. Like, I feel like I was watching a rom-com from like the early 2000s, like, and there was supposed to be a laugh track in the back, but there wasn't, so it was just kind of awkward. It was painful, it was annoying. It wasn't even like bad to the point where you're like, oh, this is kind of funny because of how bad it is. It was genuinely just bad to the point where I would want to turn the sound off because of them talking. And it wasn't just one character. It's not just the main character. It's both of them. It's Frey and it's the bracelet. They go back and forth. And it's so annoying and it's so exhausting just hearing them go back and forth saying the corniest stuff ever, bro. And like, I get that she's supposed to be quirky. She's supposed to be relatable. She's supposed to be all this, the it girl, all this. It makes me upset because I was so excited. They're releasing this game. There's a black female protagonist. that's not a very common thing. But then she's so like insufferable and so annoying, and it's just so irritating to me that's the representation that we get is her. Also, you are exploring with these two characters, and it is constant back and forth. She'll say something witty, and he'll come back with an even worse response. You can be exploring this barren, boring like land, and you'll find a chest, and you'll be like, oh, what's in the chest? And he'll be like, this is not what we wanted, because he's British. That's his only personality trait, is that he's British. And she'll be like, yeah, I actually thought it was really good. And then the next time it'll be flipped, and she'll be like, oh, this is really bad. And he'll be like, it's actually good. Like, be a good person. Like, just accept it. It just, the game feels, and the cutscenes feel so dated. Like, PS3, like Xbox 360 dated. Like it feels like mocap hasn't even been invented yet. The eyes are dead. Like, she's staring at you. It's so like there's no stakes. It feels like everyone's just talking to each other. It feels like they're reading spoken word or something, like just reading poetry to their friends. Like, it doesn't feel like, even the serious scenes, like I was upset about one of the scenes that happened, but then she didn't seem upset about it. So it was like, okay. And then they're looking at you making these unfunny, unwitty, uninteresting remarks with these dead eyes, and these the expressions are just not there. They don't match the stakes. And the quests were also just so not like the cutscenes in the quests were even worse than the cutscenes in the game, which obviously I guess they didn't put that much time into the quest. I only did 2 of the side quests because they were so boring. Like, you were literally following people around, pushing a button, more dialogue, following them around, push a button, more dialogue. Nothing really happened. Like, maybe you'd get an exposition dump. That's what they love doing. They love their exposition dumps. There was the one mission when you went to the archive, and you're just reading. They're not even telling it to you. You're reading the books from the archive. They're like preparing you for your fight. You need to learn more about the time. You don't need to learn about them for the fight. They just wanted to dump exposition on you, and they couldn't do it in an interesting and compelling way with the characters talking, through the dialogue, through the actions. You had to read it, and that's so frustrating to me. That's a pet peeve I have. I hate exposition dumps. Also, in regards to her other personality trait, she has 2 personality traits, insufferable and rude. She would be so rude to anyone she came into contact with. They would feed her, give her new clothes, give her a place to stay, and she'd be like, I hate you all. Why? Just because you have trust issues because you're an orphan? I mean, I get that, but that does not have to be your only personality trait. That it's like they died on that hill. They laid down on that hill, rolled, died, and then that's where they went in their afterlife, is the same hill. Like, they would not let that go. I understand she's supposed to be a hurt, troubled teen, but she's too troubled. Like, she literally would save them. She saved their town, their village, in the first fight with the Tanta. She saved them, and they were like, hey, you're our savior. And she was like, no, I'm not your savior. Shut up. Like, I hate you. I'm not your savior. Stop saying that. And then she would go save them again, and then she'd be like, I'm not a savior. That's not who I am. I'm literally just here to go home. Like, her actions didn't even match her words. It was like, she was like, I hate this. I'm not gonna help you guys at all. And then she would go help them and save them. It's just like, why are you contradicting yourself? Like, you're portraying yourself as a different person than you're acting. Like, maybe that's what they were going for, but it just comes across as her being rude. It just didn't make much sense to me. Like, they gave her special treatment. They were parading her throughout the city, like giving her a silver platter. They were carrying, you know how they carry like royalty on the little chairs? That's what it felt like they were doing to her. And then she would kick them in the face. Like they love you, bro. Like, what are you doing? She kept going on this I'm not a hero thing. I'm not a hero. That's not me. And then she would go save them and be a hero. Like, what is a hero by definition? Let's see. A hero by definition is a person who was admired for courage and achievements in their qualities. She is a hero. She doesn't want to be one. Maybe she don't want to be a hero, but you are one. At this point, just let it go. If people are like, you're a hero, thank you for saving us, don't be like, I didn't save you. Be like, oh, you're welcome. She's also the only person that has powers and that can walk through the break. This place is burning to a crisp, and she's like, I know I have powers and all, but like, what does that have to do with me? Like, you guys can figure it out yourself. Also, the story itself, just to me, wasn't as like, I don't know, the story just wasn't as compelling, I think, as I was hoping it would be. You know, it was just like, go here, fight this person, you know, get an exposition dump, you know, run here, run 5 miles this way, you know, to fight someone, maybe do some exploring, or don't, because it's terrible. It's repetitive, it's mind numbing. And like I said, I would literally get off the game and do homework. Like that's how bad it was to me personally. I'm not the advocate for everyone in the world. If you like the story, great. I don't. I hated it, but that's me. Oh my god, I completely forgot about the money. When she was in the room and her apartment was burning to the ground, it feels like they did it on purpose to make it was like a troll for us as the player. When you got up and the apartment was burning, you're laying down in your bed, like you're laying, like laying down, sleeping. You wake up, you're like, oh, fire. The bag is right here. This is the bag. Visualize the bag. She's like, oh, where's my cat? Okay, that's fine. You can find your cat. I would also be very like, where's my cat? Where is he? But I would also be like, okay, I'll grab the bag and look for the cat. It's a swift movement. It's not like you have to reach over and wrap the bag around your arm and secure it with locks and lasers and chains. Just pick it up and run. Like, she leaves the bag in the room and you try to pick it up. They give you the option to pick the bag up. Like, you push triangle and she's like, I have to find the cat first. I have to find Homer first. Homer's the cat's name. Okay, like, why can't you get the bag also? So you leave the room, you get the cat, you look back to get, she's like, now I can get the money because I have the cat. Priorities, right? I literally said it myself. I was like, when I leave this room, the bag is going to burn. I won't be able to get it. And then she's like, oh no, the bag is gone. The bag is gone. No more money for me. Like, it was so annoying. I guess that was supposed to be a very like adrenaline rushing scene, but like, you could map out exactly how the scene was gonna go. Like, you knew that she was gonna lose the money. You also, like, even before that scene happened, you could have just like guessed that she was gonna not get what she wanted to do, like to run away. The fire, obviously that was a little unexpected. You wake up in the fire, they don't let you get the bag. You know that she's gonna lose the money. There's no stakes in that scene. Like, I was just mad that she didn't grab the bag. I wasn't like, oh my god, no. Like, I knew that was gonna happen. Yeah, I can go around ranting about the story all day, but there's even something even worse to me personally as my playstyle that made this game so much worse for me, and that is the exploration and the map. For me, the map and the world itself, it was stunning. It was beautiful. You walk out, I mean, unless you count how bad the graphics were. It was nice. There was open, beautiful structures and like twisting, turning buildings, but then there's nothing there. It's an empty world. That's the point. The game itself takes place in a world that's apocalyptic world, and there's, you know, everyone is dying, and there's this storm that's taking over, and people can't live in these places. But that does the game more harm than good, because the exploration itself is so bland and boring. There's nothing to collect. There is things to collect, but like, do you want to collect those things? No. I open a chest and I find a coin. Like, okay. Oh, nice, good. Oh, yay. Like, and then you walk around and you pick up grass. Nice. You don't really exactly know what the grass is for. I memorized that one of them, the dill weeder or the something, was for the health potions, but you also go around picking up health potions everywhere. So it was like, So it made the exploration, just on a baseline, it was boring, because you're not even really collecting much, and you don't even know what you're collecting. It was like moon rocks or like crag grass. That was the word that I hated. You pick up like gems and stones like that you don't know how to pronounce, and you don't know what they're for. Like, they don't really tell you. I guess you go craft them, but it's like, do you really want to go out and find grass and coins? Oh, I did have fun with the cats though. That was fun for me. I loved meeting the new cats and like their personalities. That I enjoyed. I enjoyed meeting Clear. He's my friend. I love him. I love Clear. Back to how empty it is. There's no NPCs, and the monsters you fight are lifeless, boring, repetitive. There's no personality there. I know it's post-apocalyptic or apocalyptic because it's still happening, but the exploration already having the element of nothing. You need something to bring it. You need some NPCs to be like, hey, let's go dilly-dally, let's go dawdle, let's go do some random exploration. How about you go find my cat that I lost in a tree? Just do that. Go find my house that burned and I can't find my jewelry or something. Like, there's nothing there. There's no side quest outside of like the town, at least as far as I got in the game, because I didn't finish the game. I'm not gonna finish the game. I'm gonna sell it because I want the money back. I feel cheated that I paid $70 for that game. I am getting that back. I am mad about it. The lack of NPCs in the world outside, it just makes the exploration more boring, because there's already not much that the environment is offering. And me personally, I am an explorer. I'm an exploration girly. I love completing, getting platinum trophies, exploring 100% in the games. God of War, platinum. Ghost Recon Tokyo, platinum. Spider-Man, like all of the games that I love the most, I'll platinum in, and I'll get 100%. Ghost of Tsushima, platinum. Like, I'm exploring everything. I'm collecting everything that you give me. That's just how I like playing. I like to look around. I like to observe the beautiful environment. I love to upgrade weapons. I like to find new clothing. This game just doesn't give me that. Like, I would try so hard to just go and look in these beautiful buildings, and there would be nothing in them, really. There'd be a chest, and then you'd find a coin. Like I said, that's not even a joke. There's like old coins. I've got that so many times. Or you get a health potion, or you get a rock. Like, it's not fun. It's not entertaining. It's not worthwhile, you know? I don't feel like I want to take a break from the main story and go explore. I don't want to do that, and that's a problem, because that's what I love the most in games, is exploring. When the thing that I love the most is taken away and is lackluster at best, that makes me not want to play the game. I don't want to platinum this game. I want to get the bare minimum done, and I couldn't even do that. I'm just not going to finish it, because now I'm playing Hogwarts Legacy. I'm going to play Need for Speed. I'm going to play, I don't even remember what other game is coming out this month. Playing Hogwarts Legacy has opened my eyes and made me realize how much I do not like Forspoken, and it's sad, it really is, but I had no will to want to look around, to want to explore what's new. Like, you see all these extravagant buildings, and then there even comes to a point where every building looks the exact same. When you get to the little refugee houses, they're all the same, which I guess you need to have a set structure that you can know and like understand, but at least have some variation. Like, most of the houses look the same, the buildings started looking the same. I think they made the world too big for its own good, and it's like, it's beautiful, but it's boring, you know? It's are you willing to sacrifice the player's boredom just so it looks nice? And it doesn't even look nice half the time, because the graphics and the quality are so bad, and you also drop 4 million frames in just by opening a chest or by doing something. It's like, I knew how passionately I felt about this, and it's like, I'm not going to keep comparing it to Ghost Recon Tokyo, but I'm going to compare it to Ghost Recon Tokyo. That game, I know people said it was repetitive, but at least for me, getting the items, getting new clothes, getting songs, getting poses, it made it all worth it. Like, I understand if this game was like, okay, go get some gems and we'll get you, I don't know, something cool, some new power that you can only get by doing this. But it didn't feel like that. It just felt like they were like giving you busy work. That's what it felt like. It was like, okay, I know we have to do like side missions, we have to do side content for the game. We're gonna do the bare minimum. That's what it felt like to me. It just felt so lackluster to me, and when I feel so passionately about the exploration of a game, when that's my play style, is exploring and getting and collecting, it's you know, when I feel like that's taken for granted, it's very disappointing. So I guess that's all really I'm gonna say about it. I don't want to give this game any more of the time of day that it's already taken from me. Oh my gosh, I would like record an episode and I would look after my bags would be down here. I would look like freaking Itachi or something. I just felt so bored playing this game, or I would play a different game. Like, I didn't even want to record the episodes in the day, and then I would go back and edit them, and I'd be like, this is so bad. If anyone else has any other opinions, it'd be great to hear. I know I'm a little dramatic, but this game really was very disappointing for me. I was very excited about it when I first heard about it, and I was like, oh, this could be really cool, and it was not. If anyone disagrees, I would love to hear it. I would love to hear any other opinions. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing more review type videos, because my laptop is, you know, on its last leg. It's really hanging on by a thread, and the thread is very thin. I can't really keep doing the playthroughs, because, at least not now. Maybe in the future, but when everything's so slow, it takes like a day to transfer it to my laptop, and then it takes another day to upload it to YouTube, and then the editing itself is also slow because the laptop is slow. So it's like I'm editing on 2 frames per second, so I have to kind of pick and choose and guess. But you know, hope this is good. This is my first attempt at something like this, so I hope it was enjoyed. So if any more suggestions, I would love to hear them on how I can do better. Next, I think I'm gonna do either Hogwarts Legacy or Ghost Recon Tokyo that I'm gonna review next, or any other suggestions, please leave them down below. I would love to hear it. Yeah, thanks for your time. I appreciate you listening to me rant about a game that I hate. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.